Welcome back. You know, tourist-driven Key West gets crowded when cruise ships come in, but that hasn't happened since the COVID cruise suspension last year. And in November, Key West voters passed limits to keep it that way.
They passed 3 ordinances that regulate the size of the ships and the number of passengers allowed per day that descend on the city. And now state lawmakers are pushing a bill that would overturn the decision by Key West voters.
Key West Mayor Teri Johnston is here with us. She is against overturning the will of those people. Mayor, great to have you with us, and thank you for having internet that works.
Mayor Johnston, welcome.
And thank you for the invitation.
We are so glad to see you. All right, kind of take us through the history of this. The cruise ships came in, disgorged thousands, up to, I guess, 10,000 or so passengers could come in on a given day. What you and your fellow Key Westers, passed a referendum that said, no, we want to limit the number of ships, the number of passengers. And then what happened? I mean, you passed ordinances to that effect.
Well, we did. In November, we had a record number of voters turn out, Michael, and they voted on the 3 referendum. One was to give preferential treatment to the cruise lines with the most and the best environmental records and best health records, and also to limit the number of people who disembark into our 2x4 island on a daily basis. Basically, the referendum passed anywhere from high 70s to low 81%. And then it was overturned and preempted when it got to the state level, which is of great concern to not only the municipality of the city of Key West, but also to every municipality across the state of Florida.
So the bill that's, just so if people aren't following this, the bill that's going through the legislature right now, House bill, it's 267, Senate bill, it's 426. It is preempting local governments, municipalities, counties from setting rules that would govern the ports and the cruise industry. But it's so narrowly written that the only port that it's affected is the Port of Key West. So obviously it is done to overturn this particular vote, but because we tried very hard to get someone who's supporting this, who would not or could not be with us today, their argument is, listen, this is an enormous business. You can't thwart this kind of business that doesn't really do any harm in the big picture. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, clearly we disagree with that statement. We disembark over 900,000 passengers onto our 2x4 island every year. We have a great deal of information on the environmental damage that is done when these massive cruise ships come into one of the most narrow channels that they visit. As you know, we're home for the 3rd barrier reef in the world. We're a fragile ecosystem, and we believe that the cruise ships do damage, clearly. To us, this is not only an environmental issue, but it is a preemption of home rule. And there isn't anybody that's more impacted or understands the impact of cruise ships than the residents of Key West, which is what concerns us greatly, that their opinions are basically being overturned by legislators in North Florida that basically, I believe, do not understand the long-term environmental impacts and the impact of the quality of life for the residents of Key West.
Yeah, Mayor Johnston, we know that last week a group of about 20 Key Westers went up to Tallahassee to make the case that, in fact, respect our sovereignty, respect the will of the people. What did the lawmakers tell the people from the citizens of Key West who went up there?
Well, basically, we had an opportunity to present to the Senate Rules Committee. This item was being heard. So we did. We brought 19 individuals from Key West, and these are the heart and soul of Key West. They were charter boat fishermen. They were flats guides, guest house owners, artists. We had a real cross section. And these people, Michael, got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to board a plane in Marathon that they had funded through donations, We got up to Tallahassee and we were able to be heard, but unfortunately, many of the presentations were cut short. Most of the 19 people who wanted to convey to the Rules Committee what an impact that cruise ships have on the city of Key West were actually cut short. In fact, most of the 19 people got less than 30 seconds in order to speak to the legislators. So I think we got a sense of what's happening in Key West. If you have never been here during a 3 cruise ship disembarkation day, but I certainly would have appreciated it had they given the 19 people, 19 residents of Key West more time in order to just convey how cruise ships impact them personally.
Well, why didn't they get more time? I mean, there are public speakers, there is time for public speaking, and all the committee meetings. Explain what happened.
Well, actually, the chair cut them short. And I know that there were a lot of speakers on items, highly controversial items will draw a lot of speakers. You know, I know in local government, we have a 3-minute rule, and everybody gets their 3 minutes, no matter how many times we've heard the same comments, no matter what. But you know, that's our jobs as legislators, is first of all to listen and listen to the people that actually put us in office.
So, yeah, you know, we do understand, Senator Mayor, that this is one of the weirdest legislative sessions in Florida history. I mean, anybody who wants to testify before a Senate or House committee has to go to a civic building nearby. You are not in the building. Nobody's in the building except the lawmakers themselves and some staff members. What about, I understand that your group also went out to the governor's mansion. Was there any reaction from Governor DeSantis?
We haven't gotten any response from Governor DeSantis, but we certainly hope to. We know that Governor DeSantis is an environmental champion, and there can't be any more important environmental issue than retaining our very, very sensitive ecosystem in the city of Key West. You know, we're a 2x4 island. We love tourists. We welcome tourists, but we also would like to do that in a level of moderation that protects our environment and still keeps us open in a vibrant tourism economy. So we'd like to do both, and we believe that that's what we're asking for in these 3 referendums. We're asking for moderation, and we hope that the governor will take note and will certainly, abide by his environmental stances and protect the community of Key West.
So, Mayor, in the minute we have left, is there a plan for a Plan B? Because there's really nothing in the bill that prevents Key West or a municipality from doing other managing activities at the port.
Could you say that again, Glenn? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little feedback here, as you would expect from today.
We have like a minute left, so just to telegraph that for you. I was wondering if you had a plan B in case this bill does become law, because there's really nothing in the bill that prevents Key West from managing its port, even if it passes. So what's plan B? Is there one?
Well, I think probably if this bill passes, there will be cruise ship activity. We have 3 piers here in Key West. We have Mallory Square Pier, which is the smallest, and then we have the Outer Mall, which is managed by the Navy, and then we have Pier B, which is managed by the Walsh family from Margaritaville. And we believe that if the bill passes, that there will be cruise ship activity at one of the 3 piers, which is Pier B, which in itself will limit the number of disembarkations
Mayor
that we
Teri
have
Johnston,
in the city of Key West.
Mayor Teri Johnston, I beg your pardon. We are out of time. Thank you for joining us. Good luck with this venture. Love Key West. Used to have a home there. All right.
You used to have a home everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you for
Mayor.
the opportunity.